Hello everyone, I'm Paula Gilbert, the editor of Connecting Africa, and I'm here at Africa Tech Festival in Cape Town, and with me is Ravi Bhat. He is the Chief Technology and Solutions Officer at Microsoft Africa. Hi Ravi, it's great to have you.
Fantastic to be here. Thanks so much.
So nice to meet you. So today we want to talk a bit about growth of generative AI and the trends that Microsoft is seeing kind of in this area in Africa. So as we navigate this kind of revolution of Gen AI in Africa, what do you think are the key elements when it comes to harnessing, Gen AI for African enterprises?
So firstly, Gen AI and AI is maybe one of the most revolutionary technologies we are seeing. I call it, it's a general purpose technology. Like we had printing press in the 14th century and we had electricity in the 19th century. What it did to the world is what generative AI is going to do to the world going forward. So many times we actually see that, okay, what would the future be? The future, we are actually crafting it together. If you look at Africa, Africa is a mobile first continent. And I think so we have an opportunity to jump the cloud first scenario and go straight into AI first scenario. And that's because our average youth is about 26 years old. We've got 1.2 billion of population of people, and we have an amazing diversity of talent across the continent. We have great startups, we have great SME organizations on the continent, and I think if I look at the adoption of generative AI, we would potentially be the biggest continent which can take our continent forward. If I look at what these kinds of innovative technologies have done to GDP, the market analysis says that if we even harness 10% of the global GDP increase, which generative AI is going to do in Africa, our GDP will increase by 50%. That is massive. That is massive. Which is the potential of generative AI and what it can do? There are two areas where we are focusing on. One is at an individual level, where at an individual productivity, mental health, ability to do things faster, save time, become creative. And the second level is the organizations, where revenue growth, optimization, again, employee well-being, employee retention is what we are looking. And I think that those two areas is what we as Microsoft are looking to help organizations.
Yeah, so you're talking kind of about the adoption. So what inroads are you seeing both, in the public sector in businesses as well as, the private sector in businesses and also in the public sector?
So if I look at where we are seeing inroads, one is everybody at work is using Gen AI. Whether we like it, whether we enforce it, whether we don't like it, people are using. We did a survey of about 35,000 people, which we called Microsoft Work Index Survey. And that index survey said that over 75% of the people in an enterprise are using GenAI. They're using GenAI tools. It goes even further. 85% of them will not give up that GenAI technology if we want to even take it away from them, because what it has done for their work and for their profile is massive. So is adoption great? Yes, absolutely. The adoption is increasing leaps and bounds. Obviously, in our continent, we've got a couple of challenges. We have challenges on access to connectivity. We no longer have access to electricity, at least in South Africa, which is great news. But electricity obviously is also a challenge in Africa.
Yeah.
43% of the world, which is still doesn't have electricity, it sits in Africa. 777 million people in Africa have got challenges with some form or manner of electricity. And the third one is skills. So if we can try and address these three areas, one is access. And the way we are looking to solve that problem is give Gen AI technologies to people in tools which they use every day. You use email, you use Microsoft platforms, apps, presentation. You give them to them in the tools which they use every day. So it makes them change, and the adoption is not that technical. Second part is obviously access to network and connectivity. We are a mobile first continent, as I said. I think our ability to use that and leverage it to the connectivity on our mobile phones is great. Having a co-pilot on your phone is maybe the most amazing thing anybody can do, because whether you're going in a bus, taxi, transport, bus, plane, you have access to those technologies, and not just Microsoft, any other technologies on your mobile phone. And the last one is skills. Microsoft is doing quite a lot on the continent on skill, because we believe this is an area where we can make the biggest of the difference. Whether it is in 2019, we started an Africa Development Center where 600 people are developing AI and machine learning products. We are educating organizations through our AI school, which is free. You can go and actually take a course on AI school. We partnered with organizations and school institutions in Morocco. We partnered in Kenya with Kenyan government, UNDP, where we have made a commitment to train 300,000 people on AI and machine learning, and so on and so forth. I think this continues to be the major area where we can make a difference.
Yeah, so on the skills gap, I mean, it's something we talk about a lot, but are we starting to see progress there? Are we seeing young people wanting to learn these skills, and are there enough training platforms, opportunities for them?
Yes, so young people, Gen Z, everybody is actually using these technologies every day. Some of them are free, some of them need to be given access as they go into the enterprise. There are lots of platforms which you are promoting, which actually allows them access to these technologies free of cost. Even in Africa, take this week, I saw Goodwill, it is one of the platforms which I met, and Microsoft Corporation actually sponsors them. It's a free platform for Gen Z people to come into the platform and learn about these AI tools. Last week up in Johannesburg, Microsoft Talent Cloud was launched with partnership with Gabea, which is an organization in Kenya, where they have taken I would say, a challenge to educate 10 million people in Africa on Microsoft tools, obviously including AI and machine learning. So I think things are changing. Can it go fast? Of course, we can go fast. We're starting from grassroots, right, at education, which is at schools level to tertiary levels.
And you were talking about the kind of practical applications. When we're talking about enterprises, what kind of industries do you think are going to get disrupted the most by AI, and how are they kind of using it?
I think so. There is no industry which is spared.
Yeah.
AI, when I said it's a general purpose tool, which means it's a tool for everybody. It's a business tool. It's not a technology for technology people. It's a technology tool for business people. So every industry, from financial services, health, education, government, public sector, everybody is disrupted. And they are disrupted because what was not possible to be done before, and we couldn't even imagine, is easily possible now. And this is the whole reimagining, a reinventing of apps which is happening. Every legacy app which could not do things with AI is now as if it's on steroids, and suddenly you're getting insights from the data which you couldn't get to before. So I think so. Our ability to innovate depends on how much can we imagine and what business problems you want to solve. I engage with organizations all the time, all industries, and I ask them, bring us your business problems. Let's think, ideate, hack a solution using Gen AI to your business problems. And then we go through a couple of steps in order for them to see as to how things can actually significantly change. And yeah, I think you will see every technology, every application, every industry disrupted. I'll give you one example. I just spoke about it in the earlier session. We have 3.2 billion people on the continent, sorry, in the world, not just continent, who are suffering in one form or manner of onset of diabetes. Diabetes can lead to retina challenges and can lead to eyesight loss. That's big. What if we can actually develop an app using AI which uses the camera of your phone to take an image of your retina early in your age, and it actually tells you whether you need an ophthalmologist or not. For those 3.2 billion people, there are only 225,000 ophthalmologists in the world. Can you imagine if one ophthalmologist has to wait? How long will it wait? So just like we can now cure ourselves, monitor quite a lot of the medicines ourselves, the same thing we can monitor as to how the health of my eye is, and I can monitor myself. This is just an example. There are huge such innovative solutions which are coming up using GenAI.
Because you're working on that already.
This is happening in the US right now.
Okay, amazing. Very interesting. And then talking about the youth in Africa, what kind of impact do you see AI having on the workforce of the future? And kind of, is that a good or a bad thing?
I think it's amazing, and I was reflecting on it because one of the people over here in the conference asked me, saying, please give me a comment about job losses. And I said, okay, let me comment in two ways. One is an average youth on the continent is hungry for technology and hungry for access to the technology. If we can make this access of technology easier, affordable, they will learn because they are Gen Z, they're used to these technologies. So access is very important at affordable rates. Second part is, yes, there are jobs which are mundane, repetitive, will potentially evolve. And people who are doing those mundane jobs will free up their time because of AI is doing some of those jobs. And they'll have an ability to be more creative and augment their jobs and skills to something else, which they love and they like. New jobs and new roles will come into being. About 4 or 5 years back, when cybersecurity was coming and cloud was becoming big, and you saw quite a lot of that in pandemic, right? When people started working from home, and somehow cybersecurity and cybercrime started going up. And we started seeing huge amount of job roles for security professionals.
Yeah.
That came out of technology. Today, there are 4 million security professional jobs which are open and we can't fill. So all I'm saying is these technologies will give rise to different jobs which you don't even know today.
Yeah.
When internet came, did anybody realize that there is a business intelligence professional job? Nobody knew that, but the jobs came. So I think my message to all the youths and people in the workplaces, this is not a hype, this is a reality. It's here. Skill yourself up, understand the language of AI, and make sure that you're embracing it with two arms.
Okay, well, I think that's a good place to leave it, actually. So thank you very, very much to Ravi Bhat, who's the Chief Technology and Solutions Officer at Microsoft Africa.
Thank you so much for having me.